So I was scribbling some stuff earlier today, and pen to paper kind of thing, and I want to read it to you guys. You can tell me if you get anything out of it. Um, when I tell you guys to work out your salvation, that looks like something, and it looks like you working it out. Things that are, how do you put it? Take a ball of yarn, and you see a ball of yarn is just, it's got a lot of string over it. If you were going to work that out, you would have to remove the knots and all of that, and that could look like something, but a lot of people's life are knots. One thing contradicts another thing. They're double-minded. So many things are going on. Time management, just poor managing skills, just no direction, all kinds of stuff. So before I start reading, I just want to tell you that when we're working things out, we write it down and we make sense out of our life. And whatever doesn't make any sense, whatever's off, whatever's not working, we gotta make sense out of it somehow, some way. And I've learned that pen to paper works. And you process it, and then you'll be amazed at how the Holy Spirit helps you out. It gives you the answers to your questions, and then you just put, same way you did pen to paper, you put foot to pavement, and you start to head in that direction, and you start to implement the actions that bring you the new results, and that's how you get a new life. So I got busy today just writing some stuff down that came to my mind, and I wanted to define some stuff, and I believe in defining stuff. So purpose, I defined it as useful at a mission designed especially for you. Okay. Life, to live, express, create, cultivate, to grow, and to become. People, right? When you think of people, I wrote down, you enjoy their company. People are here to love on. Some people are here to test you, and you have to endure. Some people, when you get together, you create with them. Possibilities, businesses, all kinds of different things. People, they populate the earth. You can also populate and make disciples of many nations and spread God's image on earth. So when it comes to people, they need direction, right? So a leader would help direct other people, equip them, and reform them. So when it comes down to the word believe, I wrote down imagine, create, inform, proclaim. To believe is to do. To believe is to enlist a vision and to become that of which they believe. They stand behind. They stand on their belief system. They have a vision. They have a goal. They see it. They believe it. And then they do it. So then character, I wrote down vessel that carries the traits expressed with passion. Character is a vessel that carries the traits expressed with passion. So God, I wrote down divine, light. He's the leader of all. He's all-knowing and all-powerful. He's giving and loving, and he's justice. When it came down to the internal, God is a zillion times more than that. We know that. Like I said, I was just pen to paper, writing things down as it came to me. Internal. This is without me putting a lot of thought into it. This is just me, pen to paper, write down the first word that comes to your mind. God came to my mind. What is attached to God? And I wrote that. What is attached to character? And I wrote that. What is attached to belief? And I wrote that. What is attached to people? And I wrote that. What is attached to life? And I wrote that. What is attached to purpose? And I wrote that. So then I wrote internal. I'm very much about the internal. Jesus stressed that if the cup is clean on the inside, it'll be clean on the outside too. And it was referring to the vile things that come from a person, how it comes from inside the heart. So whenever somebody is doing vile things on the outside, it speaks and it echoes on what's going on in that person on the inside. So if you clean the inside, the outside behaviors will be clean too. So I'm very much about the internal, and this is what I wrote. I wrote, the internal carries structure, discipline, gifts, talents, heart, love, value, direction, understanding. The kingdom and power and strength. That's all the things that the internal carries. A man of God carries the kingdom, power and strength. So then I wrote insecurity. And then I wrote unsureness. Anything that's insecure is unsure. It's in darkness. It's a lie. It's deception. It's deception at work. It's a feeling. It's a mountain. It's a weapon formed against you. It's negative in nature. This is me defining insecurity. So then I wrote business. So business, I wrote interaction, transactions, trade, relationships, money, purchases, sales, engagement, influence, savviness, strategy, to learn, to have an eye to see, discernment, preparation. I was bored and I wrote these things down. If I write another paper down, which I will do this later, about my goals, where I'm headed, my vision, how I could get there, and I wrote down similar things like this, you think that I could map things out in a stepping stone type of way to where I can actually scale it and get there if we work out each and every detail? The truth is that so can you. And that's the whole point of working out your life. You'll make sense out of it. Write down, like, let's say you have goals, and your goals are to break addictions and lead a healthier, happier life, and to get closer to God, right? Write down on a piece of paper all the things that are stopping that from happening. You can write down bad company. You can write down just bad habits, like waking up late and not having a job and not doing anything to feed your mind, and what you do with your time that connects you to the wrong sources. You can write all that down. Then next to it, you can write down all the things that you could do instead of that. Feasible things that are not impossible, things that you could do and that you're willing to do, and you can write that down. And that's you working out your life, and then you getting from the point A to point B, working with yourself in grace, and then praying to God to help you, and doing the possible. And if you did that enough, you could refine yourself to becoming a person that you never thought you could be. Because the truth is that people can't be it, because all this is fuzzy, it's a mess, it's disorganized, it has no order, and it's because everything in life is disorganized for that person. So when they have a goal, it's more of a wish. It's a wish. It's like, I wish. The fact is that it could happen, but you got to get order. You got to get organized. You got to write things down. You got to make sense out of it. You got to see what's the enemy, what's the giant, what is in the way. And then once you calculate all those things and put it down, you can then take the appropriate measures to taking down your giants. And you can hold yourself accountable and responsible for doing those things, right? So God bless you guys, and let me know if this type of thing speaks to you, and we can make more of these videos.